My name is Anita MacDonald. I'm a metabolic dietitian. I work at Birmingham Children's Hospital and I've got 40 years of experience of working with PKU. Weaning is the introduction of solids into a child's diet. Weaning is very important. It's when we introduce different variety into the diet, and it's when we introduce different tastes and textures in the diet. So why is weaning important for the infant? Well, during the weaning phase, children's development is changing. They're starting to learn how to feed from a spoon. They're also starting to learn how to feed themselves. They become much hungrier during the weaning process. Also during weaning, it's a time when we grown-ups can still influence what children like and dislike. This is very important when we're introducing the second stage protein substitute, because if we get this in at the right time before they've developed their own likes and dislikes, then they're more likely to accept this. Weaning should be a happy time for parents. It should be a time that they look forward to. It should be a time that they really enjoy. What we find in PKU that parents are often very anxious about the weaning time. But we as dietitians will help you through this process. We'll tell you the type of solids that you should introduce and when you can introduce them into the diet. And we're also going to take you through the introduction of the second stage protein substitute, how it should be done, and the quantities of the second stage protein substitute that you should give to your child. There's many things we have to consider from the PKU point of view when weaning our child with PKU. We've got to ensure we've got good blood phenylalanine control. We've also got to ensure we're giving our child plenty of calories. And we've also got to ensure we're giving the child plenty of protein substitute. But it's not only about the amount of protein substitute, it's about the type of protein substitute as well. Because if we continue with high volumes of the infant protein substitute, that will fill the child up far too much, and then they're not going to take enough solid foods. A protein substitute is very important in the diet. It serves several functions. Not only does a protein substitute provide special protein without any phenylalanine that children need to grow and stay healthy, it also supplies all the vitamins and minerals they need, all the special fatty acids. But very importantly, giving the protein substitute helps to maintain good blood phenylalanine control. Without the special protein substitute, we can't maintain good blood phenylalanine levels. They would remain high. So a protein substitute is a crucial part of the treatment. Pku Gel comes as a powder. It's a concentrated source of protein substitute or special protein, a protein without phenylalanine. We make this up into a semi-solid. We add a small amount of liquid to this, and we start introducing Pku Gel from the age of 6 months. At the age of 6 months, a baby is getting bigger, so they start needing a little bit more extra protein. When we give the Pku Gel for the first time, we give this in addition to the infant special formula. We usually start adding this once a day. Because the Pku Gel is a concentrated form of protein substitute, and because it is in a small volume, it doesn't fill the baby up. So they're still able to enjoy taking foods in the diet in addition to the Pku Gel. So we want to get lots of variety and different textures into the diet, and they can start learning how to feed themselves. We always give the gel before the food, when the baby is the hungriest. This means we can guarantee getting the gel into the child every time. So if it was breakfast time, we give the baby gel first, then give the solid food, maybe a combination of an exchange and the free food, and then we would finish off with a bottle of specialist formula. I'm going to explain how to make up the Pku Gel. We first do this by measuring out a dose of 5 grams, and we give this once a day. So we take the 5 grams, we open the packet, we weigh it out on the scales into the little pot. The reason why we start off with a dose of 5 grams is 5 grams of powder is equivalent to 100 ml of the special infant formula. Once we've measured out the powder, we will measure out the water. The powder is usually made up by adding 1 ml of water to 1 gram of powder. So with 5 grams of powder, we will add 5 ml of water. We could measure the water using an ordinary teaspoon. I will often advise my families to use a syringe, because it's easy to measure up 5 ml of water. Also, when they use a syringe and other people are making up the powder, it's easy to guarantee the same consistency from time to time. So we add the water to the powder, we give it a good mix, and the gel is ready to give to the child. As the child increases in size, then we have to give more gel. It's certainly easier to make up the gel when the child ends up on full packets of gel. So how do we make up a full packet? We simply take one packet, we cut the packet open, we empty the packet into a container. What we would do would measure 30 ml of water into that container. 30 ml would be equivalent to about 2 tablespoons of water, or equally we could measure this out in a syringe. We put the lid on the container and we just give it a jolly good shake. And when we've shaken this for a few seconds, we take the lid off and the gel is ready to give to the child. It's important to introduce the gel at the right developmental age. 6 months is a good time. This is when a child is likely to develop new tastes and flavours. Give the gel at the beginning of a meal when the child is hungry. Give the gel at the same time each day in the same way. It's always important that the same people give the gel from day to day. They also should try and give it in the same consistent way. If different people are involved in giving the gel, then it's important they use the same methods. It's always important to complete the gel. None should be left in the container. It's important that the child can see that the container has got to be empty. It's important that the child learns that the gel is important, like any other medication, so it has to be taken. Try and persist with the gel during teething and illnesses. We know this can be very difficult and it can be a very stressful time. However, if you stop the gel during this time, it will be more difficult to establish it again.